Hi, this is Joshua Factor from Business Broker CRM. In this part of the training, we're going to go over the Data Room tool and how our unique data room is integrated fully into the CRM. There's a very big difference between our data room tool and those of any other data room services, wherein our data room was designed specifically for the business broker and M&A specialists. Our data room is a two-step process. Number one, we deal with the listings. We create a relationship between the listing and the file. And step two, once we have that relationship between the file and the listing, then we can go and provide that information at the buyer level. So for starters, let's go ahead and click on a listing. We have the first listing is Burger Heaven. Let's click on Burger Heaven and associate a file between Burger Heaven and a listing. If you go over to the Actions tool on the top right hand corner, you'll see a link here that's a link that says Attach a File Photo. Click on that link. The screen will jump to a hidden widget where you can go ahead and click on a file and choose that file, and we can go ahead and put it in a tax return. Hit Open. Let's go ahead and submit. That file will upload and show on the top right hand corner. Let's add more files into the data room. There's an insurance document. Let's hit Open and then Submit, and then you're done. You can add unlimited files to the data room. These are files specifically associated with the listing. That's it, plain and simple. Next step, let's go to the buyer record. Let's click on Buyers from the navigation bar, and it will bring you to your database of buyers. Let's click on, here's a buyer, George, and George's buyer's profile will show up on the screen. Scroll down to the portfolio or data room tool, and let's go ahead and add that particular listing that we saw before, Burger Heaven, to the data room. The way you do that is clicking on the green plus on the main bar of this widget, and when you do so, all of the listings will show up. And let's put a check in the checkbox in the line of Burger Heaven, and then scroll down and click on Add to Data Room. When I click on Add to Data Room, the system is going to pause for a moment. The system will pause for a moment, and then it will add that particular listing into the data room. Currently, we have 4 listings in the data room. The first 3 have already been released, but Burger Heaven has not, the address has not yet been released. And the way you see that is by the 3 different actions of the data room. When we go ahead and click on the Send Email to Buyer button, or the envelope button, the system will once again pause. It will ask you a question. Do you want to release the address to this particular buyer? You click on OK. The system will think, the envelope will disappear, and then a blue plus will show up in the Files column. If we were to click on the blue plus, another window will open up, and all the various different files that are related to this particular listing, in this case Burger Heaven, will show up. If you notice, there was 2 already added to this particular listing, and we went ahead and added a couple more. Now I put a check in the line next to the various different files that I'm interested in showing to the buyer. If I wanted to, I can click on a date and give a date when this particular file will expire from view in this specific buyer's data room. And when I'm finished setting up the data room, I click on Assign Permissions. Once again, the system will pause for just a moment, and then that's it. Now, when the buyer logs into their data room, they can go ahead and see all those files that are related to this particular listing and each individual listing in their data room. Let's go to the data room for the buyer. Okay, and if you notice there are other listings there as well, let's go take a look at the burger place, which is over here, the burger restaurant, and you notice the address is shown up directly in the data room page. We can click on the title, or we can click on the View Listing Details button and see the complete business profile in the buyer's data room. You're going to see here all of the complete business profile, including the various different files that we've given permission for the buyer to download. Take a quick look at what you see here, and of course all this can be customized according to your business methodology, but this is a basic profile. If we wanted to go ahead and download that tax return, let's click on the link, download the file, open the file, and I also want to point out to you that if you notice, you'll see in the file, in the tax return itself, there is a watermark, a security feature built in for your company. The watermark says this specific document was released to buyer name, in this case the buyer's name is George Sieber, by your company name, in this case it's Business Brokers CRM Demo, with a timestamp, the exact date and time that it was released, and also the buyer's IP address. While we're on the topic of the data room, I also want to point out to you that from within the buyer's data room, you can click on the profile link where all the fields of data that are related to this particular buyer in the CRM will also show up over here. So this way, the buyer has the ability to fill out all of the fields of information that you customize in your CRM, and then the buyer can fill out this information, or the broker during the onboarding process can as well fill out that information. Buyer would hit Save Changes, and then you once again have the option to go back to the main page of the data room, customized for that particular buyer, and review any of the other listings.